Hi, so we're going to get WAN2GP running on RunPod and use MultiTalk to generate an animated video. First, in your RunPod, check whether you want secure cloud or community cloud. And then this is really important. Make sure you filter your CUDA version to 12.8 so you do not hit issues with compatibility on versions later. Then you're going to want to select your machine. I've been going for A40s recently. It's a good balance of price, availability, and RAM. You're going to change your template that you use to the RunPod PyTorch 2.8. And then you're going to edit the template to increase your disk storage to 60 GB and to expose port 7860. When that's done, make sure you're on a GPU count of 1, so you're not spending on what you don't need, and then select whether you want on-demand or spot. I'm going to select on-demand so I do not get interrupted. Then hit deploy. It's going to take a little bit to get your machine going. Once it's ready, you can hit that connect button. You can use the web terminal through RunPod or SSH if you're more comfortable and prefer to do that. But for this, I'm just going to use their web terminal. You're going to CD into Workspace. Then you're going to clone our repo. I'm going to share this full document so you can copy and paste, like I did, the exact commands. So clone the repo. You're going to CD into it when it's done. And then we're going to check out an exact commit so that we know that everything will still work as intended, even if there's changes later to the repo. Once we've done that, we can install our requirements. I sped that up a bit since it takes a while. And we're also going to install ffmpeg, which is happening now with a separate command. And then this is very important. You want to install this exact version of Gradio. You're going to hit issues if you use a different version of Gradio. And then you're going to install say detention. Great. And then this is optional, but we're going to install tmux so we can attach back to our terminal if we get shut out. And then start our tmux session. And now we are ready to kick off our server. It's going to take a little bit, but then you're finally going to see that it's running on local URL. And you can connect right through that through your RunPod terminal. And there we have it. We have the app running, and we're going to select the Vase MultiTalk. There's both Vase MultiTalk options and regular MultiTalk. I've had great success with the Vase MultiTalk. Great. We're going to use a reference image, and we're going to inject the people and the objects from the image. So we're going to drag that right in. And then we can want to keep the background. You have the option to do either. And we have two people speaking, so we're going to try the auto separation option, which is a nice convenience feature, but it's not, I found, not the most stable. So I'm going to drag in one audio that has both voices. The character on the left is speaking first. That's what the model expects. And I've had mixed success in the model knowing who is speaking or not. And sometimes you get both characters lip syncing the lines. So it can be a little finicky. In the prompt, I tend to tell it who's speaking first. I don't know if that actually helps, but it's worth trying. So I'm just giving a prompt to Polar Bear, and then Nerdy Man are at a whiteboard having a conversation. The Polar Bear excitedly teaches the Nerdy Man, and the Polar Bear speaks first. And then just for funsies, I say make sure the lip sync is very accurate. Want to change our dimensions? I want this TikTok vertical size. And then we need to calculate our number of frames. It should be the total seconds of our audio times 25. So we put that in. I'm going to keep the number of inference steps at the default 10, and I'm going to add Tcache to speed this up. It's recommended that you start the Tcache at 10% of generation, but I'm just going to do it for the whole thing. Then check our inputs. And click Generate. You can see that it'll be using a sliding window since we go beyond the max in one session. But that's great because it'll stitch the whole video together for you. So we see that we're downloading the models. This will take a bit, but it only happens the first time you generate. Great, we can see our resource utilization back in the RunPod terminal. See we're not using our GPUs yet. And we hit an error with the separating of the audio, so we're going to do that ourselves by setting the 2 speakers option instead. What's nice is this interface has a little editor where you can trim the voices, so I'm just going to use the same audio twice and trim so that we have the first speaker on top. Let's check to make sure it's correct. Great, trim that. And then I'm just going to drag the same audio for the second speaker and trim the second speaker part. Now we can keep everything else the same. Oh, we need to change our frames because we made this a little shorter. Seven times 25 should be our frames, and then we generate again. And there we see that it is going, and I accelerate the speed for the demo purposes. It's going to take a few minutes to generate the whole thing. What's nice is when the first sliding window is done, it lets you see what's done so far. So we can see our first 5 seconds and save that in case something happens on the second window. And there we have it. We have our full 6 seconds video generated in 612 seconds.
But close. You reward the model when it does a good job.
Good model. Here's a sausage.
Thanks for watching.